Welcome back to Plan 6 Parts. So we're back with the TR7 again on this one. What we're going to do in this video is we are going to change the lights to LED. Now I know some people have asked me about it, so I said, you know what, well I have the 7 here, I might as well do the video on it. It's actually easier to do it on the 7 than it is the 6, believe it or not, because there's less wiring to do. Because, long story short, the problem you'll always face when you're doing LEDs is not the headlight, it's not the marker lights or the brake lights or anything, it's actually the signal lights. That's where everyone goes wrong. Because, like the 6 has a single bulb on your gauge that runs both signal left and right. And the issue with that is that when you transfer from a condensing bulb or a halogen bulb, whatever you want to call it, to an LED, there's so little resistance that it travels right through the bulb and goes to the other side. Now, if you want to know how to stop that, go check out my other video I have on making a loom to prevent that in the TR6 to allow you to install the LEDs. This, the same as an MGB, you don't have that problem. You have a left and a right individual on the dash, so everything runs on its own circuit, so therefore you don't need any wiring harness. Everything is a plug and play, as simple as that. So, as you can see, I already had it started. I started this yesterday, but I ran out of bulbs, so it's easier just to start the video all over again. I'll show you. The front's up, the back's up, and apparently it has a snowball on top. Alright, so let's get cracking, and I'll show you what to do for the exterior lights, and when we get into the hazard, what the main key things is. Alright, so let's go. Let's get this camera here, and let's... Alright, so where do we start? Well, usually we start from the beginning. Yeah. No matter where you go with the exterior, marker lights are marker lights. With this on the 7, it's pretty straightforward because unlike the 6, it's a whole unit, but everything is actually individual. So you have individual bulbs. Just twist, bulb pops out. Right? Now these are an 1157 bulb, so they're a single, there's no twin, there's no brake and no tail and brake all as one. So you can just simply swap them all out for simple LED bulbs. And show you. Sorry, let me grab one. Simple LED bulbs. You can pick these up, to be honest, anywhere. Single phase, nothing special. You can get them in different sizes. You can see I often get different sizes. It's terrible though. It's a brutal day today. It's a home day. But you can see, same bulb, different size lengths, because sometimes you don't have the same space to fit it. So just be mindful on what you use. Some of these bulbs, I'm not going to lie, they're all made in China. I don't care what you say, who you get them from. They're all the bloody same. They just look different. Some of them just give you different wattages by much. The brighter one you can get for the brake light, great. But yeah, so the bulb is a bulb. You can go into Canadian Tire and get ripped off, or you can go online and buy them. It doesn't make a difference. Like, as long as you know which bulb you're meant to get, that's the main thing. So swapping them out is pretty self-explanatory. Like I said, it's just once you get the cover off, twist, you push fit and pop out. There's a small one in there for the. I'll put these as the tail lights, and I'll put the other one because I think they're brighter for the brakes, so it shows the difference. But again, because they're two separate ones, they don't have to be. Why the only thing you'll start running into a little issue with is when you start getting to the side marker lights. Now these are, how do I say, I can only describe them as awkward. They are awkward on this thing. So let me go take one off, right? So I'm going to unscrew it. I still haven't got near my P6P. I'm pretty disgusted. We're into June now and I haven't started. I was hoping I'd have most of it done. But I have a lot of bits and pieces for it, and it won't take me long to actually get it together. Look at that, that's a nice flag. It's a beauty flag. Now, sorry, there's a little, two little nuts to take off in here. I should have put the camera on a stand, so I'm only doing one-handed. And of course the nut doesn't want to come off. I know I'm going to lose the washers, I think. Oh, no. There we go. So I took them off by hand because I already had it off. And it pops out. Sorry, this one doesn't pop out. You can take the cover off. Sorry, I lied. I'd take the cover off. You can pop it out if you want. I might just push it out to show you, but these are a very interesting fit. So I'm gonna pull this easy, pop, and out it comes. All right. The unit itself there has your positive and negative, one on either side. Right, one side is positive, one side is negative. Pretty straightforward. And here's your bulb holder. Sorry, I have to try to do this with my hand then. It takes a standard push fit bulb. So if you've ever seen these glass ones, they're referred to as a push fit. They're pretty straightforward and explanatory. Here's how it works. You have this here, and that positive and negative, and you push it in, just touch those off the tabs at the side, and that's how the bulb works. Pretty simple. Now, the only thing you'll have to do with this one, if you want to put an LED in, which I find with these ones, is you have to take a little edge off the corner, right, where the flat end is. I'm trying to, I really should have put the phone down. But if you look at where the flat part is, with the wire, which I'll fix, I'll take a little edge there. And the reason why is that the gap here, that space there, the bulb, well, the bulb, when you go to put it in, if I turn it sideways, it doesn't fit. It don't fit in there. So you have to take a little shaving off it, so when it goes in this way, it slides in. So that's all. That's the thing to be mindful. Either that or try to get some smaller bulbs. You can try smaller ones, they mightn't be as bright, but I just found just to take a little edge off and that's it. I might just replace this bulb because I've bent this wire. Not that that'll make a difference. Anyway, I'll put that back in a minute. And that applies for all 4 markers on either side. So yeah, it's an awkward system. I find the front ones are terrible, corroded, like you're full of grease, like, and dirt from that comes up. But you can still buy them. You can still actually buy them brand new from your suppliers. We were going to start stocking them, but to be honest, there's not much to do. Again, with the front. So when you come to the front end of it, you have a marker light and you have your signal light. So again, the marker light is push fit. I forget what these are called, BA9s or something, or BA7s, BA9s or whatever. But that's for a halogen style one. Again, it's just a push fit, so push and twist. And then the front one as well. So again, single phase. So you can replace all these without doing anything. You haven't touched anything yet. So in you go. Once they're all in, that's fine. Like, the headlights are a little different. I'm going to show you how to do the headlights. I already had, like I said, I already started, so I already took the headlight bowl out of one, but I ran out, I hadn't got the LED bulb, so I had to stop, so I'm just going to do it again. So when the lights pop up, it's going to be one with a light and one without. Now, when we start getting into the flasher units, here's where we start getting into, well, what's going to operate them. So, I was in here, and of course I removed a lot of the dash. I was in at the fuse box and everything because I was messing around, and because the fuse, it shows it's meant to be up here, so by right it was meant to be sitting right there, and I'm pulling it apart looking for it, and of course it's falling down. So where's my lamp? Reach over for that. Of course it fell down, so here it is here. Now, this is not the original one. The original one, in fact, you had a Princess Alt one in here. This is the LED flasher. The difference with these that I like is that it has its own earth wire. So it has its own ground. So you have the two normals, your load and so on. But this one has its own ground. It will not work unless this is on it. Now, I have this strapped up to the rest of the grounds up here. I don't know if you can see it. The rest of the grounds are there. Actually, that's where this is. That's my tester. And all I'll do is hide the wire up. This one is the hazard. So this operates the hazard, so when you put it on up here. Now, it's taken apart. Why? Because I was fixing the switch. I fixed the switch and I was putting it back in. I just have the covers here somewhere. It's on the floor. Here it is here. I just had to put the cover back on. But I just had it off so I could constantly take it on and off in case, because to be honest, the corrosion on it was absolutely atrocious. So I had a picture of it, and I think I deleted it, but let me show you another one that I had here that had the same corrosion. But to give you an idea, that's the back of the switch, the hazard switch. So this one, it looks like it was originally grease, but it looks like it's the Statue of Liberty, and it's gone from brass or bronze or copper to, well, the Hulk. So yeah, it was pretty dirty. I had to clean the other one up and put it back in. So yeah, I just took that apart to play around with it. I may end up putting this one back on it instead, this switch, only because well, actually it's broken. Because the glass one had a triangle on the glass, but it wore down when I cleaned it. This one has on the switch. Anyway, so that runs your hazards. Now, once you have that done, the next thing you have to move on to is the signal switch. Because once you change that, the signal switch won't work. And this one is more awkward. I'd say awkward. It's in a terrible spot. Hang on, I have to go back around and get my lamp again, so I'm not crawling in. Oh, door. The worst thing is all this plastic. Look, God. I have to put it all back together again. Ooh. Big door wedge. Now, once you come in here into the darkness, your flasher unit is up here. So what you'll find is, right up here, if I move it, that's the one I put in, but your original one is here. There it is there. I don't know if it's focusing in, but that's it there, that little tiny square one. That's it. So that's where you're going to find it, right pretty much on the dry shaft. And if I come back a bit, I don't know if we'll zoom in any better. So there she is there. There's for your signals. So again, what I've done was I took one of my LED ones. I have it here. I just have to fix that strap, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck it up. I'm going to bolt it onto here. I'm going to put a little nut on here. So I'm going to take that ground strap off because it's not long enough. I'm going to put it here and the ground out, and then that will work the signal lights. So, and that's how we get our signals. Now, to give you an idea what the LEDs look like when they're on, I'll show you. Whoa. Oh, whew, doing laps of this car. So I'm not touching the LED, I'm not putting LEDs or anything there, there's absolutely no need to do that. But that's the standard halogen bulb that's up there. But we get so that's that one. This bulb here I haven't changed yet, so to be honest the bulb wasn't even in it. There you go. So that's the hazard, and I said the other one works the exact same. Now, sorry, while I'm up here, lights, taking the lights, I changed these. These are LED in here as well. If you're changing these glass section is the same as the TR6, however the rubber is not. The rubber is actually different shape, because the TR6 ones, just in case you ever get stuck, I have it here. I had them here somewhere on the desk. But the rubber for the TR6 comes down and bends, so it's a little longer, so I used the original grommet, but I put these in. Just be mindful, because them spade connectors are terrible. You might want to try take them off and bend them a bit more, because this one was awful to fit in because there's simply no room. But the LED bulb is actually, oh, see if you can see in there. She's hiding in there. So I have it twisted that it faces out, but you can't, once you get it in, it sort of stays in there. So, but yeah, it lights up great. Anyway, I'm going to turn these hazards off. So, alright, that's it for this part. And what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to go, hopefully not get a shock. There we go. I'm going to go and put all this back together again. I'm going to tidy it all up. I'm going to put the ground strap in. I said I already changed all the marker lights and put all that in. So I'm going to do all that. And then we're going to come back and we're going to get cracking on the headlights. So we'll get LED headlights in. You'll see, it's very simple. It is very simple to do. We supply and fit them here at Planet 6 parts. But once you do it, you realise it's actually pretty easy to do if you ever want to tackle it. So, yeah. Alright, see you in a second when I have all this mess tidied up and we'll get into that. Alright. Alright, welcome back. So, we're ready to do the headlights. Now, the thing about the headlights with this is that when you turn the power on for the headlights, they go on. But when you turn the power off, you go back down again, you hide. And you want to keep them up. So, the best thing to do, put the power on, take the ignition, and we're going to disconnect the battery, and that will kill the power and the lights should stay up. So let's go do that. Turn the lights on. I've taken the ignition off, but you can see the power is still on. And the marker lights are still on, so now I'm going to disconnect the battery. So, once you disconnect the battery, we'll take the power off it. And, uh-oh, I think here comes the security again. Why is everything in this car not Imperial? Why is it metric? So even the battery is metric. There you go. So all I done was I took the negative off. So I just disconnected the negative on the battery, because the positive is a terrible spot, especially when you're trying to get a spanner in there. You don't want to touch the body or else, psst, good luck. But it's just enough to hold the lights up, and with the bonnet up, it looks so funny. Somebody looks like somebody's giving it one of them. Alright, so as you can see, I already removed that one. So let's go to this one and do this one. Now to watch out, because I threw the ball for the dog and I know it's going to come back at some stage. It's a lab, so it's never ending ball time. Hang on. So now it's in the air. We have 4 screws that hold the gasket on, if you want to call this the gasket. So it's a guess. I can't see what somebody used in here. The other one had some flatheads, some Phillips. So I might need a lamp to see. Oh, this is a Phillips, I know that. Or what do you call them over here? A star. Doesn't look like a star for me. I'm the star. Star of the show, yeah. There's one. This is a Phillips. 2. 3. Like I said, this is a lot easier to do than the TR6 because you don't have that chrome bezel, but you have to put the other one. Oh, it is a Phillips. It wasn't straight. Alright, now that's all loosened off. As we pull it up, the bottom half is rubber. So if you just pull it towards it, the nuts fall out, and we're free. So this is it. Simple, sealed halogen bulb, the same as every other one. And we're looking for 3 screws to hold on the retainer here. One. 2. I probably should have let top one last. Now, could you get to these from underneath? I'm sure you could, but to be honest, this is easier. I'm not a little car. Oh, it's outside waiting on me. And off it comes. And we're, oh, save it. And there was a self-tap we put in there, great. I wonder what one will come out. So now that bulb is out. Simple. This is a Phillips sealed head unit, so we don't need that anymore. And we're going to put in a nice, beautiful LED one. So this one here we supply. I already have the bulb put into it. It's a H4 LED. It comes with the unit already pre-done. Sometimes you have to collapse these depending on which bowl you use and how far it sticks out. But tell you now, it's just a plug and play. So Now, you're going to say, oh, what bulbs do you use? Well, that's the thing. I make sure myself that I use the bulbs that have a fan built in to keep them cool. So we don't need any sort of resistors or anything along that line. That's the fun part, it's getting it back in again. This is where a magnetized screwdriver comes in handy. Whoop. Hit the ball chaser behind me again. Trying to take advantage of the fact that I'm down on ground level. Now there's one, there's two. I may end up getting a new screw for the bottom because I don't like a self-tapper in there. One, two, and do you know what? I'll put it in for now. Actually, no, I want to change it because it's a Robinson's head. Oh. Alright, let me go get a new screw for this. And I'm looking to use one of these. And it's the same Robinson head, but at least it's not a self-tapper. Just depends how big of a hole he made using it. Yeah, that's the problem. He made it so big because move it. Yeah, unfortunately, I have to use the original one. The one is too big, so because it's too big, I can't put it back in. Let me see actually. I might swap out a bigger one. He made the hole too big, so it's not digging in. Unfortunately, there was no need for that, but unfortunately, you've done it. So we have to replace it with another self-tapper. There we go. That's what makes these better, because now it's not a big struggle to put it back together again. So now it's on, we'll put our rubber casing back on. So again, same way. On your rubber, so squeeze it down. If you want to take any bolts out and change them, now's the time to do it. Although to be honest, you're pretty okay in there. Now it's getting it back lined up. This is the only difficult part. Is once you get two of them, usually the two are okay. So that's not lined up. just have to... Oh, it's not in there. It's not in there. Yeah, no wonder I couldn't get the line up. Beauty. There we go. A beautiful LED headlight. So let's put this one back on now while we're at it. And of course, I lost the screws for this, I believe. So I have some new ones. Again, I already had it pre-ready to go. I like the flat ones. I don't know, even on the putting them back on like the 6, I still like the flat bulbs. I still think they look better. I had a couple of screws here. There we are. That was meant for this. Wattage wise, what bulbs should you use? Well, it's totally up to you. Some of them are a lot stronger than others. Some come with a baluster. It says I make sure to get them that they have a fan on the rear end of it and they don't require any baluster. And the reason why most of them require any additional stuff is because a lot of lamps now are designed to turn on and off with sensors, so not a switch. So because of that, it gets a little difficult. These are pretty straightforward. They're either on or off. Now, let's case them back in. So it's rubber except for this section. So. Now, I have to go find some screws that are going to fit. Oh, a screwdriver. These, I believe, are certain threads. So that's not going to work. I need like a fine thread one. So, because he had some odd ones in it. He had like this thing in it. Now again, it's just a machined nut. So that'll work. So I just have to find the 4 screws to go in there. This is one, but I don't know if I have any of the same size. I think I think they're a 1/4 inch. No. Alright, I'm gonna have to dig out one because I found them. Here they are here, they're terrible, but I found them. No, I don't, like usual, I don't tighten them all the way first until they're in, or at least it's running so far. There you go. This one was the one that was a flathead. Did I bring the flathead with me? I did. put this on top if it's not going to go in. Nope, nope, I'm good. I managed to get it in. Alright, it's in. I can tighten this up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to connect the battery again. And when the battery comes on, then these should show, and I can put them home. So it's not that difficult to do this. It really is. It's something you can do at home pretty much yourself. Alright, that's up. Alright, so let's go. I'm going to connect the power back on and we'll see what the lights look like. And woof. Look at that. Beauty. Woo! Some bright lights, some bright LEDs. So, yeah, that's it. Now they're in. I'm going to turn the lights off now. That's it. Homeward bound. So, that's it for the TR7. So now I can clean up the rest of the bits and pieces. I just have to, oh, look, just waiting. It's waiting for me. Look, it's waiting. There it is there. The ball, isn't it? Waiting for the ball. God, the thing is just never ending. All I do now is, well, park my stuff up, just put the covers back on. And then I'll turn on the lights on to make sure everything is pretty good. That the marker lights didn't, the bulbs or the connections didn't come loose and I put them on. But that's it. So that's how easy it is to put LEDs on a TR7. It's actually a lot simpler. The hardest part is the headlights. In fact, probably the most awkward part is the side markers. Just that unit is brutal. Like just the way you push fit, and they pop off the sides so easy. They break off the plastic because it's like they're placed on and the plastic is heated up and it melts over to keep it in position. It's terrible. Like usually have to glue it back on. Like it's just brutal. But anyway, that's it. We'll take the big, reminds me of winter, the snow on top of the cars. That's it. I appreciate watching. Any comments, questions, concerns, like I said, give me a shout. I really appreciate the people who subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to me if you can. I know it means nothing, but like to see the numbers go up, I know people want to watch the videos. And if there's anything you want me to do, any questions, anything I can help with, and I have the time or I have the vehicle to do a video on something, give me a shout and I'll do a video for you. Other than that, see you in the next video. Again, thanks for watching.